Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets because if you've been watching the Bitcoin market over the last 24 hours or so, you'll probably have noticed that Bitcoin managed to get above the all-important level of resistance at $6,600. Not only did it do that, it pulled back, got support to confirm this breakout, and then ran up to a new local high up here on the wick of around $6,800, almost exactly $6,800 flat. Now, $6,600 was a very, very important level because Bitcoin had been needing to get above this for the last 2 weeks. We saw 1, 2, 3 levels of resistance and a false breakout above this level, and Bitcoin needed to get above this, and it's very good that we did. In today's video, we're going to be doing some technical analysis on this breakout, and we're also going to be talking about the one last level that I'm looking at Bitcoin to break, and if Bitcoin does break this level, then I'm expecting for a new Bitcoin rally to form, which could potentially lead into a new Bitcoin bull run. From there, we're going to be covering some news as it relates to CNBC and them being wrong 95% of the time, which is kind of a funny article. We're going to be talking about this later on in the video because it seems that we found our silver bullet for technical analysis. It would be CNBC's Twitter. But anyway, without much further ado, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, definitely consider dropping a like, hitting that subscribe button, and smashing the notification bell, guys. You know the drill. We make cryptocurrency videos every single day. I wouldn't want you to miss any of them, and it also does help out the channel when you do that. So, you know, if you want to do that, that would be one way to support the channel. But like I said, without much further ado, let's get into it. Bitcoin is trading above $6,600, of course, up here around $6,711. If we give CoinMarketCap a little refresh here, we're going to see that Bitcoin is up about 2.5% in the last 24 hours, which is quite accurate. Bitcoin is rating as around $6,725 on CoinMarketCap, and daily volume is a little bit better than it was yesterday. If memory serves me correctly, we were a little bit below $4 billion yesterday. That may have been the day before yesterday, but Bitcoin's volume is doing okay. Now, this is a weekend. Today is Saturday, so $4 billion on a weekend is a little bit better than $4 billion during the week. I of course want the Bitcoin volume to be higher than this. What we've been looking at over the last month or so is generally an average of around $4.5 billion. So I would like that to continue going up, but the lack of liquidity, like I discussed in yesterday's video, which you can watch up here in the top right if you're interested, isn't necessarily a bad thing when we're pushing up against levels of resistance, because it typically also comes with a thin order book, which makes it much easier for some whale or some leverage trader to come in and push Bitcoin above a level of resistance, since we're hitting our head against a level of resistance right in here. On this downtrend, we're much closer to a level of resistance than we are to an important level of support. A thin order book and low volume isn't necessarily a terrible thing in this instance, in my opinion anyway. Tell me in the comment section down below what you think of that take on the volume as it relates to Bitcoin's current market climate. But if we sort by change over the last 24 hours here, we can see there are a lot of altcoins that are doing quite well. We have 8 altcoins in double-digit green. We see DentaCoin up here, up 30%. OneChain is up 22%. I know a lot of you guys are very big fans of OneChain, and if we sort by change over the last 24 hours, we do see one double-digit loser. That would be Bitcoin Diamond. And we do see the market is slightly tinted, is slightly shifted towards green. We see quite a bit more green than we do red. So overall, the market is doing quite well. And that, of course, comes with the fact that Bitcoin is doing quite well and did break that important level of resistance. Ethereum is currently trading around $280 with a volume of $1.4 billion. Nothing really to write home about there. I'd like to see Ethereum start getting above some levels of resistance that it has recently broken as support in the last month or so. We're probably going to be doing another dedicated altcoin video pretty soon. There's just not a lot to talk about in the altcoins right now. Bitcoin's market dominance is hovering around 53.6% and market capitalization around 216 billion. Not a whole lot to write home about there, so we're going to get onto the chart. Now, let's go back in here to the hour chart where we started the video, because we do want to analyze this little breakout. If you watch yesterday's video, which I already linked, you'll have to click the I up there to watch it if you're interested. I was talking about how my gut was telling me that we are going to break above $6,600 and how I felt a lot of tension in the market, and it felt like Bitcoin was about to come up here and break out. And I think the video was recorded right around here somewhere. I think it was right there, actually. And a couple hours later, we did break above it with a good 3 white soldiers candlestick pattern. That would be what this is right here. When you see 3 candlesticks that are the same color and roughly the same size, typically with smaller wixes than you see on that candlestick right there, that is typically called 3 white soldiers. And if you see the opposite in red, that would be called 3 black crows. I can think of an example where we would see 3 black crows. That would be right over here. When Bitcoin initially broke below $6,800, you would see 3 black crows over here. that would be these 3 red candlesticks right there. So 3 black crows are definitely bearish, 3 white soldiers are definitely bullish. I just thought I'd throw a bit of candlestick analysis in there while we're doing the video. But anyway, back over to where we are now. What we saw last night was with those 3 black soldiers, I got 3 black crows and 3 white soldiers messed up. 3 white soldiers, we did break above $6,800, excuse me, $6,600, pull back, and like I said in the intro, we got support on it down here, which was definitely a very good thing. That helped to confirm the breakout. We got support on it, and because we had just confirmed the breakout, or at least partially because we just confirmed the breakout, we did see a very large green candlestick following that confirmation, and we did push all the way up to $6,800, just a little bit above the level of resistance that we're looking at today. And ever since then, we've been kind of wedging in here. We've seen, you can kind of draw a little wedge right here. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a nice wedge going here. You can see we're kind of forming a bit of a pennant up here. Bitcoin's kind of wedging in here. In the next couple of hours, I would expect Bitcoin to break out of that. Let's go into the 15-minute chart, and you can see that quite a bit clearer. We draw the pennant like right there. You can see Bitcoin is kind of roughly wedging in there. These lines aren't perfect because I just drew them, as you can see. But if we move them around a little bit, Bitcoin is kind of wedging in here on the 15-minute chart. And Bitcoin probably is going to be breaking out of this either bullish or bearish, actually before the video goes live, because the video is going live about exactly 2 hours before I'm recording this. So go on your chart, draw this pattern, and see if Bitcoin breaks bullish or bearish out of it. If Bitcoin, okay, well, it's going to break bullish out of it while we're talking. Now, if Bitcoin breaks bullish out of it, then what was probably going to happen is that Bitcoin is probably going to run up here and break a level of resistance that I'm looking at very closely and is in the title of today's video. And that level of resistance is on the daily chart, not the weekly chart, Jeb. That level of resistance is the long-term downtrend that we've been talking about in the scope of the Bitcoin market that has been playing a very important role on Bitcoin price action for the better part of 2018. We can see this downtrend, the one right here, the one that we all know about, the biggest downtrend in Bitcoin technical analysis at the moment, is a very important downtrend, and we're looking at a break of it, a potential break of it in the next 24 hours. You can see, like I said earlier, we're hitting our head up against it. We're seeing Bitcoin come up here and just push our head up against it. This is what I was talking about with the level $6,600. Bitcoin just kept pushing its head against this level. Kept pushing our head against it. We just stayed up here and just hit it. We did hit right there. We hit it right there. We hit it right there. We hit it kind of right there. We came up here and broke it and then hit it right there. So we hit this level a lot, and that's kind of what we're seeing on this level of resistance on the short term and on the long term. We saw a test of it up here. We're seeing several tests of it right now, and then we also saw a fake breakout of it up here. So this level of resistance is under fire. It is under siege, and the bears are definitely under fire right now because the bulls are trying desperately to get above this level of resistance again, because we fell back below it recently, of course. If Bitcoin does get above this level of resistance, I'm calling that a new rally. I'm thinking that this is the last level of resistance that we need Bitcoin to break for me to actually be able to, and I mean a very strong, well-confirmed break of it, not just a little flimsy candlestick breakout of it. If we get a well-defined, confirmed breakout above this level of resistance, above this downtrend, I am expecting a new Bitcoin rally to form. I've been saying the same thing for the last week or so. I want to see Bitcoin get above $6,600, and from there, we need to get above a couple more levels of resistance with strong confirmed breakouts, another one of them being the 20 daily EMA, which you can see on the chart right here. If we start getting above these levels, and we've already gotten above 2 of them, $6,600 in the 20 daily EMA, we only have 1 left. If we get above these 3, I'm expecting a new rally to form. Now, I think the rally is in motion anyway because we did break $6,600, but I do want more confirmation, and I think a very, very strong level of confirmation would be the long-term downtrend. If we get above that, I am expecting a new rally to form, and it's a very, very powerful downtrend that has been playing a massive role in Bitcoin technical analysis for most of the year, and because of that, it is a very strong level of resistance. It's a very strong level of resistance. It's not necessarily going to be very easy that we get through it, but if we do get through it and we see a very strong break of it, we see a big green daily candlestick come up here and close above it, like up to here or something, and then we do what we did on the hourly chart earlier, come down, get support at it, and then keep going. I'm expecting a full-blown rally to come from that, guys, and there's a lot of reasons why I believe that. I've discussed them at length in several videos. I'll go ahead and go over some of them. Another thing I'm looking at, which is another reason why I think a new rally is coming, is the daily MACD cross down here. You can see Bitcoin did cross, the Bitcoin MACD did cross bullish in the last couple of days. One thing I haven't talked about is the weekly MACD. The weekly MACD is set up for a new rally. As you can see, the MACD line is just a hair below the signal line. Once we close this weekly candlestick, and if the next weekly candlestick is also green, we're going to see a weekly MACD cross here on the Bitcoin chart. And that would be very good for Bitcoin because what have all of these 3 failed rallies had in common? they didn't have a weekly MACD cross. So tell me in the comment section down below how important you think a weekly MACD cross is to a new Bitcoin rally, because it certainly seemed, in my opinion anyway, that it was very important for this new bear market to form, because just a little bit after the new high was in at $20,000, you can see over here on the MACD, let me get these out of the way. Oh my gosh, my chart. As you can see right over here, when we got our cross back over here, that was kind of a lagging indicator that we had actually started the bear market. So the weekly MACD seems to be a very powerful indicator, because another thing that we didn't see is that when we were in the bull market, the signal line didn't ever really, the MACD line didn't ever really cross below the signal line. We did over here when we were just getting the rally started, but after the rally, after the bull run was actually well established, we didn't see a cross. And in this bear market, we haven't seen a cross, because it seems that the MACD is a very good indicator, the weekly MACD, I should say, is a good indicator of telling you when a bull market and a bear market is in motion. So to see a bullish cross right here would be a very good sign for me anyway, and I would very much like to see that to kind of build this rally that I think is coming into, hopefully, a new Bitcoin proper bull run. You can watch my video up here on the top right if you're interested in my take on what it's going to take for Bitcoin to start a new bull run, because I think it's very, very possible that this rally does transition into one. Of course, we're going to need a little bit more information and a little bit more technical analysis, and to see a little bit further into the future to be able to say that for certain. But I think the possibility is definitely there. Whether or not Bitcoin takes it or not is, of course, up for debate. I also want to talk about the shorts chart, because shorts have been falling off. You guys know that's a funny phrase. The shorts have been falling off a little bit here on the shorts chart. All the shorters, their pants are falling off. You can see the shorts are starting to taper off a little bit. We saw a recent high up here at almost exactly 40,000 shorts on the Bitfinex chart. And over the last several days, Bitcoin shorts have been retracing a little bit. Now, you could say that this is just a little fake, kind of like a bull trap, I guess, a bear trap, I guess, on the shorts chart, but I don't really think that's the case here because of everything that's happening on the Bitcoin main chart, the actual technicals chart. But as you can see, they are starting to drop a little bit, and of course, whenever a short gets sold or liquidated, that causes buying pressure, so it does help Bitcoin move upwards when we see shorts going down. And of course, I'm sure Bitcoin likes seeing shorts going down, but God, I'm so immature. No, I'm sure Bitcoin likes seeing shorts going down, because when the shorts are going down, it provides buying pressure, and when it's providing buying pressure, of course, that's good for the bulls. And one thing that we also talked about several videos ago is that Bitcoin was going sideways here and trending upwards a little bit, despite shorts skyrocketing. So shorts were going way up here. They were going up quite a lot here, and even though they were going up quite a lot, Bitcoin was still trading sideways or going up, which was a very strong indicator that the bulls were still in control, and that the bulls could at least keep Bitcoin above $6,600, keep our head above water, and stop the market and stop the bears from pushing us into a prolonged bear market that I'm sure would have come if we had a confirmed breakout below around $5,800 to $6,000. With everything I'm looking at on the chart, guys, I do think the new rally is forming. I do think that Bitcoin is more than likely going to be breaking this downtrend of resistance. With that said, is it going to happen in the next couple of hours? I don't know. I don't necessarily think it's going to happen immediately. We could very easily come up here, hit our head up here like we are now, come down here to $6,600, hopefully get support up there, and then break it. This is a very strong level of resistance. It's a very strong downtrend, so I'm not inclined to say that we're just going to shoot straight through it, but when we do get through it, I think it is going to be big. I think it's going to be very powerful for the Bitcoin market, and I think it is going to be the start of a new Bitcoin rally. Tell me in the comment section down below, what do you think? Is my technical analysis valid here? Is Bitcoin going to be starting a new rally if we do get above this level of resistance? I'm interested to hear your thoughts as always, but there's one indicator that I've left out, and that indicator is CNBC, as we're going to read from this article here. This is a very short article, so I'm just going to read the whole thing. Shout out to Bitcoinist.com. You guys can go and find this article. Just type this into Google, and you will find the article. Shout out to them, because this is a nice article. CNBC as reverse indicator of Bitcoin price, 95% accurate. Mainstream media network CNBC has become an unlikely Bitcoin hero this week after an analyst showed its bull and bear forecasts were, in fact, signs that cryptocurrency would do the opposite. Bulls, bears, and CNBC. And like I said, I'm just going to read from this and do some commentary on it, because it is very, very short. I'm not going to try and skip around here. In a submission on TradingView, Jacob Canfield noted how various tweets from CNBC about Bitcoin going higher or lower coincided with abrupt U-turns in the cryptocurrency's price direction. Almost every single bullish tweet we've seen has been at the top of nearly every single rally, giving us a very strong sell signal. With every bearish tweet we see, it has been a clear indicator of a short reversal and the end of a rally, he summarized. Now, this is quite funny, because one thing that you guys have to remember about mainstream media is that, and any media in general, not just mainstream media, you can have alternative media or whatever, a lot of media, what the media is there for, the media is not there to give you a good informed opinion. The media is not there to be 100% accurate. The media is there to sell you drama, because they're trying to sell advertising space, and what do they need to do? And I know about this stuff because I've been studying marketing quite a lot. I mean, I run a YouTube channel. I need to know a little bit about marketing. What they're here to do is not to inform you. It is not the news's job to give you information. It is not the news's job to give you the news. That's a very common misunderstanding. I'm not just talking about CNBC here. I'm talking about all mainstream media news sources and many non-mainstream media news sources. It is not their job to give you news. It is their job to sell you drama and to get you to keep watching them so that you can watch advertisements. Period. Full stop. That's their job. Their job is to make you watch advertisements. It is not to give you news. That is a secondary objective, which has absolutely nothing to do with making money. If they can make you watch their advertisements in some other way without destroying their brand as a news organization, they would do that instead. Their job is to make money. They are a business. They are not it's not like PBS where they're being funded by the government. It is their job to make money, and CNBC is no different. So what is one way that you can get people to watch your stuff? Well, we need to look no further than the 2016 election to see what exactly is going on here. And I'm not going to get into politics or espouse my views, but I am going to say that one reason that the mainstream media went insane, and I don't mean insane as far as who they were bashing, I mean insane as far as covering that story and covering the 2016 election, is because it was drama. Guys, elections, Bitcoin moving up and down, markets moving, all this stuff is drama. All the news is drama. It's literally that. It's reality television, except it's actually reality. It's not faked. That's all it is. So CNBC's job is to get you to keep watching their stuff. It is CNBC's job to get you to watch advertisements. And what they don't want to do is say at the very bottom of a rally when everyone is bearish, when everybody's bearish down here and everybody's wrong, when we're down here in this level, at least in my opinion, everybody's wrong. When everybody's bearish down here, the last thing they want to do is be contrarian and say that, no, you're all wrong, because they're all just going to say, screw you, guy, I'm going to go watch somebody that says I'm right, because people like to have their confirmation bias, well, confirmed. And it's not going to be, it's against CNBC's prerogative to go and tell you you're wrong, even though you may be wrong, in the pursuit of truth. It is their job to get you to keep watching. Now, this is by no means a pardon of CNBC. I'm not pardoning CNBC. I'm not saying that what they're doing is okay here. I'm simply giving you their motives, because this is a common thing that you see all over the news, and this is where the big fake news thing comes into play. A lot of that is driven simply by the fact that mainstream media is essentially just reality television at this point. And that's kind of the little rant I wanted to go on this, and that's really why I brought this up. Anyway, continuing here, CNBC is one of the more vocal mainstream outlets on Bitcoin, which is definitely something we have to give them credit to. Is that they are one of the mainstream media they're one of the mainstream media news sources, I guess I should say. Not news in scare quotes. One of the mainstream media news sources that has a lot of eyes on it, that is giving attention to Bitcoin, so they are at least helping to spread awareness, which will hopefully transfer into adoption. So that is one thing that's at least a bone we can throw in their direction. Featuring daily coverage of price movements and its related events, it also has dedicated hosts, including investment manager Brian Kelly, hinting about when to buy. The network also controversially late last year published a series of tweets endorsing altcoin Bitcoin Cash and lambasting Bitcoin as inferior. Okay, so they like Bitcoin Cash over Bitcoin. I guess they really are wrong on everything. No, I'm kidding. All the Bitcoin Cash fans are going to be hating me in the comments now, but oh well. I like reading your funny comments. Anyway, based on its history, Canfield said CNBC as a reverse indicator is around 95% accurate on Bitcoin's price, which it has a little thing for Bitcoin's price here. With every bearish tweet, we typically see, on average, a 30% return. In the last week, we've seen 3 bearish tweets from Twitter, giving us a clear indication to go long here. He continued, referring to a chart featuring Bitcoin's price movements after the tweets. Now, that's kind of funny, guys. I've been talking about for the last 2 weeks or so that I'm thinking that we're going to go bullish. I guess CNBC also doesn't agree with me, but the CNBC indicator seems to agree with me because they've been bearish, and it is kind of funny because it does seem that they are basically wrong a lot, at least on Bitcoin. And this is kind of funny. And like I said, the one thing that we do have to give to CNBC is that they are spreading awareness and adoption. But one of the problems is that they're spreading awareness and adoption in a FUD way and kind of a FOMO way, in not a very healthy or organic way. If you come here and you type Bitcoin into YouTube, you'll sometimes see one of my videos up here. You used to see them a lot more. I think YouTube messed with their algorithm. But you can see CNBC and CNBC Television has 2 videos up here in the top 3, and this is a coveted spot. I've been up here several times, and when a video does get up here, it does do very well, because you can see in my YouTube analytics thing over here, vidIQ. If any of you, I'm not endorsed by vidIQ. I'm not sponsored by vidIQ, but if any of you do have a YouTube channel, I do endorse vidIQ. But as you can see, there's 3.75 million monthly searches for the keyword Bitcoin. So they're up here gobbling up views, and that's their job. Their job is to get views and get ads, because there are ads on this video. That's how they make their money, guys. But one thing that they are doing is that they are helping to spread awareness for Bitcoin, not necessarily in the healthiest of ways, as we discussed. But anyway, tell me in the comment section down below, what do you think of the technical analysis today? Do you think Bitcoin is about to start a new rally if we break this level, if we break this downtrend of resistance? Have we already started a new rally? As always, guys, I'm interested to hear your opinions in the comment section down below. One thing I want to tack on to the end of this video is that the computer I've been talking about is getting built today. I have my hand on the motherboard, the M.2 drive, and the Trident Z RGB RAM right now. It's sitting on my desk, and my the 1070 sitting over there on a chair. So I'm going to be building that today, and this should be the last video where the chart's kind of laggy. You can see the chart's not really going at 30 FPS. That should be changing. The computer should be built within the next 24 hours, and tomorrow's video should be recorded on it, which means we should have 1080p, and if my internet can handle it, 60 frames per second. But anyway, guys, tell me in the comment section down below what you also think about this article for CNBC, because this is quite funny. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I want to thank each and every single one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.